I'm talking about maxing out. Listen to me, y'all. I don't play basketball, but if you watch my videos and you watch me, I will not walk out of life. I'm going to crawl out of life. When I die, I promise you, when I die, I won't have no energy left. Every practice, I don't want no energy left. Why? Because those other girls you playing, they young. And they're going to burn out by the second half because they're young. And what you're going to do is you're going to beat them with endurance. This is what I love about life. When you look at all the other motivational speakers, I remember looking at them and I was like, ooh, they're ahead of me. I don't get them. Why? Because they ain't been homeless. I have an advantage when you homeless and eating out of trash cans. I flew first class today, right? It was so funny. I flew first class and I guess it's a small flight. So when they served our meal, it was like a real turkey sandwich. You could see other people looking like, I'm flying first class. That's wheat bread. I saw them too. I saw the way they was looking like, that's wheat bread with cheese. It's not warm. It was like I'm talking about like a middle school lunch that your mama would send you with a little small bag of chips. I murdered it. I was like, whoa, turkey. It was so much turkey, it was a cold cut. I took most of the turkey out, Lee, and just kept that much in there. I'm like, it's too much turkey. They looking like, how dare them serve me this? This is first class. I was home, like, let's go. I didn't eat like this when I was homeless. I didn't know when my next meal would come. Some of you, your problem is you can't deal with adversity. You look at adversity as something negative when it's not. Adversity is the best thing that ever happened to you. Why? Because when adversity happens, most people don't quit. Listen, we're going into the fourth quarter. I'm working harder now than I worked in January, than I worked in May. I'm about to put it on now. Why? Because most of the people who do what I do, they about to get tired. My son is 23. Lee, I promise you, we had a layover, went to my mama's house. He slept the whole time. He woke up and said, Dad, I don't know how you do it. I went and worked out, did the hit boy, walked with my mom for 3 or 4 miles with my niece, talked to my mom, got on the plane, got off, boom, did a presentation. They was like fire pit. They was like, best presentation you did all this year. Can't wait to the fourth quarter. I can't wait to the second half because that's when talent goes away. All your talent gone with 5 minutes left. Your legs about to give out. So who wins? Only the person that can go through adversity, that's when you start winning. So that's why you need to practice till you burn out. So when you get on the court, you'll never burn out, and they gonna burn out. They gonna burn out. I'm telling you, you see it. It's like the game goes up and down and up and down. And the last 4, y'all gotta go watch Michael Jordan when y'all get a chance. He would always take a break at about maybe 10 minutes. He'd come back with 6 minutes left in the game, and he would. And Mike would come in those last 5, 6 minutes, he would kill you. He would kill you because he has so much energy and so much tenacity and so much strength. And listen to me, I noticed the Michael Jordan, and I'm old, so I don't believe in the Michael Jordan, LeBron comparison. And let me tell you why I don't believe in it. It has nothing to do with offense, because the way Mike played offense, he shut you down on defense. That's the difference. Mike didn't play one way. Mike wanted it so bad that he would put up 30 and he would stop his guy from scoring 0. That's the difference. He played both ways. How do you play both ways? When you're not playing talent no more. You're not playing with talent. At that point, you done dug deep within. Okay, I wasn't even supposed to say this, right? But I got to be honest. I'm going to give y'all one more. I shouldn't say this until I come back halfway through the season. Do you understand the reason why I beat most humans at what I do is because the last 10% is the hardest percent. That's the hardest percent, ladies. The last 5 minutes of game, that's the hard. Let me tell you what I mean by that. While the first 10% is difficult to get started, once you get started, it's something that's called momentum. The challenge with the last 10% of what you do, which makes it hard, is because it's the last and you done spent all your energy. That's why the last 10% is the hardest. And you know what I focus on? I focus on the last 10%. And you know what everybody else focus on? They focus on that 90%. So I need y'all to do me a favor. I'm gonna need y'all to go to coach and say, Coach, hi, you're not being hard enough, Coach. We need a little bit more adversity. We need a little bit more adversity, Coach. Coach, you're being soft in practice. I know we girls and you think we can't take it, Coach. I know what it is, Coach. We need you to bring it on, Coach. We need a little bit more adversity. Why? How many women in the room love diamonds? Let me see your hand. You love diamonds. Good, good. And people spend a lot of money for them, right? Listen to me very closely. If you want to be a diamond, ladies, I'm not really into them like that, but if you want to be a diamond, the first thing they do is put them under the most excruciating heat that you can put it under. It goes through heat first, immense heat. After the heat, now I thought that was enough. You take the coal, you put it under heat, and when all that stuff come off, whatever's left is the stone. That's not a diamond though, it's just a stone. So when you go under heat and you feel like coach to put you under some heat, that's just the, look, sweetheart, that's just the beginning. Heat is just the beginning of the process. So after the heat, when they want to form it, then they put it under pressure to form it. And then after that, it still ain't a diamond. They have to do what to it? You got to cut it. So the diamond that you see, there's no two diamonds alike because when they cut it, each stone reacts different to it. I'm trying to tell you, you want to be a diamond, but you don't want to get cut. You want to be a diamond. You want to win a national title. You want to be a diamond, but you don't want to go through no pressure. You want to be a diamond, but you don't want to go through no heat. And I'm telling you, the best thing that ever happened in my life was homelessness. Why? Because when I took that PhD and that professor, oh man, my mom got so mad. That professor told me, coach, you don't write well enough. You're not a critical thinker. You don't think well enough to be able to get past this dissertation. I knew exactly what she meant. She meant I had an IQ. But I had to explain to her, boo, IQ ain't the only way you succeed in life. I got that GQ. I got that GQ. And I ain't talking about being fine. I got that GQ. I got that grit. And so you know what I did when she told me that? I went to the library, y'all, and I read over 40 different dissertations until I found the one that looked like something I could write. I went in the library and was like, yep, she right. I ain't got the IQ, but they do have dissertations for free in the library. So we about to go to the library, spend a month here, and I found one like, I could do that. And I went home and I stripped it from top to bottom. I kept reading and reading and reading, and I saw what it was, and I said, I got it, and it took me 4 weeks. Some people could do it in 24 hours, turn the paper in it, 4 weeks and 6 weeks, and I would turn it in early, and she would give it back with red, and I'd give it back, and she'd give it back with purple, and I'd give it to her, and she'd give it back with orange. And I told her, you will not break me. You must understand something. This is a class. I was homeless. Homelessness didn't break me. You think a course you think pedagogy 10-12 is going to break me? I was eating out of trash cans. I will defeat this. And some of you, your problem is that every single time you come up against heat, you run. You will never be a diamond like that. You will never be a diamond. Every time there's pressure, you want to break. Emotional, get emotional if you must. Cry if you must. Get it out. But get your butt back up after you finish crying and put a time limit on the crying. You say, coach, I need 30 minutes. Go take it. But when you come back after that 31 minute, you better grind. Because if you don't, you will be stuck at that adversity for the rest of your life. Yeah, so real quick, I want to say, and this is probably the hardest place to set boundaries, but I set boundaries with my kids. So my son's like, Dad, I want to make 6 figures. I'm like, cool. I'm not going to give you 6 figures. And I'm in a position to do that. But what I continue to think about is if I give my son money, if I die, what's going to happen to him? He's not going to be able to, he's not going to be able to take care of himself. So my thing is, you tell me what you want and I can show you how to make it. So my son, he told me what he wanted to make. He about to get married in a year. So I trained my son in the DISC assessment, like thoroughly trained. I don't know, that's my son's stuff. Like thoroughly train my son. My daughter is a beast at it. So what I tell my son is, this is what I'll do for you. I don't have time to certify everybody. But as people come in, you certify them. You certify everybody online. I give you 50%. I keep 50%. You take 50%, right? But I'm going to watch you and you better be sweet with it, right? So he got access to my man Mustafa, Moose, getting him tight work. He got access to Anthony Flynn. Anthony working with him. He got access to CJ. I mean that. He has access. I don't owe him to let CJ talk to him. Like, I don't owe him that. Like, CJ charge people. So just because he's your uncle, you don't get to go to him for free. But I've given him access to the people who've helped me blow up. And then it's like, yo, how much you trying to make? Dad, I'm trying to make an extra 5,000 this month. Well, that sounds like 10 certifications. So you're going to have to get on the phone, right? So I got some D1 schools that are like, yo, we want you to come train us. Bro, I don't got time. The kind of money they pay, and trying to be funny, you ain't got $50,000 an hour for me. I told my son, the university called me, D1 program, they want it. We'll go in together the first time because they want to see me. Then after that, you go in and you work with them on a regular basis, right? And if you can put me on the screen because I'm available in my hotel room, I'll get on the screen while you're local. But you learn to dish like the back of your hand. My daughter, you learn like the back, and we'll start a family company. Does that make sense? So can I give him 50 grand? I'll be spoiling him and killing him. But I'm giving him a skill set because at the end of the day, it's just not about the meat you eat when you hunt. It's about the confidence you get when you can go hunt. When you can actually go out as a lion or a lioness and catch that, there's a pride in not just making money. There's a pride in the process of the money. All right, so do me a favor. Nobody that you close to, you should just be cashing them out. Didi, the only person I'm just cashing out. All right? And for real, she deserves it. She was with me when I was 16, homeless, whatever. So she's the only person I'm cashing out. I love my daughter to life, but I tell my daughter, how much you want to make? All right, good. This is how many clients you gonna have to get. And guess what? I'll bring the clients in and you're gonna have to take care of them. Does that make sense? And that's hard because my father wasn't in my life. And because my mother, I felt, let me stay in those abandoned buildings. I had to be careful because it was easy for me to overcompensate because my father wasn't in my life and do more and even feel guilty because my son, he ain't stupid. He'll be trying to make me feel guilty like, Dad, you spoke. I'm like, bro, sit down somewhere. You can earn as much as you want, but you're not in high school no more. I'm not giving you anything. Does that make sense? And that's a hard boundary because it's family.
Yeah, no, that's good. I want to transition. One of the things that I learned from E, and as we're talking about the 1%, right? We're talking about getting to that 1% lifestyle mindset financially in your health, whatever it is. One of the things, E, that I say from even early on, and I love it. I can't remember what I tweeted. I don't ever tweet, but every once in a while I have a deep thought run through my head and I'll tweet something from E's account. But I said, everybody's focused on the success, but not the sacrifice, right? And so the sacrifice, really was the routine for us early on. And so like, I know what this looks like now, and you guys see E and the NBA stuff and the NFL and all the, fancy, sexy stuff, but a lot of people don't see the routine and the sacrifice that it took to get here. So one of the things, and I think, again, success leaves clues. You told me one of the first things was multiple streams of income and that the 1% wake up at a certain time and they have a certain routine. And you got a chance to sit with Warren Buffett, who is, I don't even know what percent that is. That's not even a percent. That's the 0%. Y'all look for the 0% conference 2030. All right. That's just when you just balling so hard, you're not even in a percentage. Yeah. But you were able to sit down and actually glean from Warren Buffett and those types, and it kind of validated some of the stuff that we were already doing. So talk about routine and not just waking up like an accident. Like, I think a lot of people, you have an idea, you have a vision, you have a dream, but then there's no clear-cut path to executing it based on, kind of your routine. And for us, you guys, you got to think about it. We would come to the office early every single day, an hour before work start, because we knew we could use that full hour for the dream. Then work would start. We would do our work from 8 to 11. Then 11, it was back to working on the dream. And so we had a routine. And at the time, I didn't even realize it, but it still creates a routine within me to this day. Like, my wife's in the back, she will tell you, like, I have a certain routine and I get like irritated if I come off that routine at all. She'll be like, babe, I know you don't, can you please? I got a dentist appointment. I'm like, oh my God, just because I'm so tied to my success habits. And that probably comes from you teaching me that. So talk about why you've always been so big about routine and how that has contributed to you now being in the 1%.
Yeah, well, one of the things I realized is that before the routine, I wasn't successful because of who I was. Like, and a lot of y'all, for real, here's what you got to stop doing. You hold people to the fire when they don't do what they're supposed to do, but you give yourself a pass. Like, and you got to stop doing that. Like, I see in this generation, people will let their kids get away with stuff that I know you wouldn't let nobody else's kid get away with. But sometimes when you're so close to something, you don't treat it you don't treat it real. Like, you give it a pass because it's your baby. But if somebody else was to get on your couch and do that, you'd have a fit or somebody. So what I had to start doing was saying, you got to stop holding other people to the fire. You got to hold yourself to the fire. And I realized that without a schedule, I was the one that was messing up my life. And I realized I needed a schedule because I wasn't the brand to get me where I wanted to go, if that makes sense. Like, that version of Eric Thomas would never make me a 1%er. I realized that. So when I sat down with Warren Buffett, 3 things that blew my mind. I never really realized where his money came from. So the first thing I did was I was like, yo, his money comes from investments. Well, what happened was when he was 12 years old, his father gave him his first grand and let him make an investment. So I realized he's not getting up early in the morning just to get up in the morning. What he says he does is he reads. He doesn't just read books. That's not what he does. He reads financial reports. So this dude was telling me he read a financial report of General Motors in 1964. And I'm thinking why would you be reading? It's 2000, whatever it was, 14, 15, I don't remember what year it was. It wasn't the 60s. But to his point, he was reading the document, the financial, listen to me. He's a financial genius. What was he reading? Finances. For real, y'all be coming up to me like, yo, E, what you reading? Why? You trying to be a motivational speaker? You trying to be the next Martin Luther King? You trying to be the next Mother Teresa? Why are you trying to read what I'm reading? What are you trying, you trying to impress somebody? Why are you reading what I'm trying to read if you're not trying to be me? He was not reading Mother Teresa. He wasn't reading about leaders. He was reading a financial report from 1964 General Motors. Why? Because General Motors had one of their successful financial years in 1964. And so he was looking for the clues of what were they doing specifically in 1964 that can be duplicated in 2014. That's what he was looking for. So a lot of you getting up early because ET get up early, but you getting up early for no reason. You just up early, right? I'm not trying to be funny, right? So, and I've had this conversation before, right? So when you get up that early, guess who else gets up that early? People who work out. So I'm with Rochelle and I'll be going back and forth with Rochelle and Rochelle be hitting me up E, what you doing? I just had to say to Rochelle, Rochelle, I ain't trying to be funny. I'm not on what you on. I'm working out to be healthy. You get paid. You're going to have a different intensity than I have. You making money doing it. I don't make no money when I work out. Ain't no money being made. So I'm going to give it 30 minutes and I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to be sitting here working out for an hour and a half. She's like, I'm on the bike now. I've been on for an hour and a half. How long you been on? I'm 29, 30 seconds, 30. Pop, I'm out, Rochelle. That's it for me. Why? I don't put a lot of emphasis in working out because I don't benefit financially from that. You understand what I'm saying? So I put a lot of emphasis in leadership. I put a lot of emphasis on the DISC assessment. I am a personality guy. I change people's professional and personal life. That's what I do. So be careful that your routine is pointing to where you're trying to get to and you're not wasting time. So I'm looking at Warren Buffett. He says he reads 6 hours a day. He reads financial documents 6 hours a day. That's the first thing he does, 7 days a week, 6 hours. But watch this. You go, ooh, but watch this. When you read something for 6 hours times 7, that's 42 hours, right? That's 42 hours a week, right? I don't know how many hours that is a year, but guess why he makes the best financial decisions? Because all he's doing is financial stuff. He putting in 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 hours. All right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to let y'all go. We're going to go to the next question. Watch this. Somebody sent this to me and I just shared it with CJ. This is crazy. Do you know that you don't start making $1 million? The age group that makes $1 million is 35 to 39. They make an average of 1,250,000. Yep, that's okay. This is the 1% club. I'm sorry. Thank you. The 1% club. If you're 18 to 23, it's only 20,000. If you're 24 to 29, it's 80,000. If you're 30 to 34, it's 400,000. If you're 35 to 39, it's 1,250,000. Watch this. Warren Buffett is he probably 65. Yeah, he's 65 plus. That's 11,750,000. Do you see this? With the age, the money goes up. So when Warren Buffett was younger, he wasn't making this kind of money. But when he started hitting 40, 50, that's when he started blowing up as a 1%er. So what I'm trying to tell you is what happened. It took all those years of getting all that information, all those years of studying all that stuff, all those years of putting in that work. And then finally, all that stuff was that knowledge was compound interest. And then he started making certain decisions that people thought was rare. It wasn't rare. It was that all that time finally caught up to his decision making. He became finances. So every move he made was all these years of studying and then boom. So what a lot of you doing wrong, to CJ's point, if you're gifted in 3 areas, then that means you're going to have to get 30,000 hours just to be basically a master. But what if you did one thing and got 30 hours of information in just that one area? You guys got 10,000 in 3 different areas. So while you got 10,000, I got 40, 50,000 in one area. What? Speaking. And guess what the disc is? The disc is still going further into personalities. It's still the same exact thing. So I'm putting more hours on top. So the routine is important because eventually it's going to make you a beast in one particular area. That's why you need a routine, because you can't trust yourself not to get off track. That routine is going to keep you on track and make you a 1%er. I'm going to need you to be real. Some of this stuff's going to hurt today, but it's okay. One of the things I'm starting to realize is there's a small group of people that's really living the American dream. So they're selling you some good information. They're not showing you how to execute on those. All I'm saying is, as we move forward, we can't help certain things, but we're not going to sabotage ourselves. I'm going to show you why they execute and why you don't. But more of us could be living whatever life we want. But what they didn't show you is how you were supposed to do that. What I want y'all to start doing for me is having dreams and then give me a couple nightmares to go with the dreams. For real, I just want you to make up in your mind like this could happen. Not because I want you to be spooked out, but I don't want you to get hit and you like, I didn't prepare for that.